children of the Most High God. They think that you're being bougie. They think you're being big-headed. They also think you're being antisocial, but they just don't know. You're having a spiritual one-on-one with the Most High Creator, the Great Spirit, some brothers and sisters call God. You're having that guidance that you was looking for. Sometimes you find yourself talking aloud and people are like, oh, he or she is talking to themselves. But see, they forget that the Most High God, the Most High Creator, the Great Spirit, is in everything that's living and breathing. So you're getting instructions, you're getting things to do. You're meditating and you're manifesting a lot of things in your mind. You're just having this spiritual conversation in your mind, trying to get your head right. And they sit back in the cut and like, oh, why they're so far away from everyone else? Because you're having this one-on-one with the Most High Creator. You're trying to get all the instructions for the next move in your life. You pay attention to everything that goes on around you. But they think you are being bougie and big-headed and stubborn and distant from everyone else. But these instructions are for the benefit of mankind, so therefore it benefits them too. Because these instructions that you're getting is to protect the inner source, the inner self, that spirit that's made to guide those who need your energy. That's why sometimes it's good to be isolated, so you can know yourself. No loud noises. No one coming around stressing you out. No one trying to compete against you. No one against you, period. No one trying to compete. Pure meditating. Thinking to yourself, letting the Creator come into your mind and open your pineal gland, your third eye, your soul window. And you wait for instructions. People are so focused on the outer self, but not focused on the inner self. They worry about all the things of the outer self. But the inner self is more important because the inner self is driving the outer self. That's how you know how people, certain levels, what they read on, how they live by, because that inner self is going to start to control their outer self. The way their soul is inside, the way their flesh shall look. That's how you know certain sins. That's why it's so easy. Even though I know that the black Euros, they call them the black Europeans, the black Euros, they brung the King James Version, and they, like, I'm gonna put it like this, everybody played with the book. There's some things you have to see inside the book. Those are the keys. Those are the keys. And once you see those keys, any race, whatever, once you see those keys, you should walk by those keys and you should be free. But no one wants to do that. I'm telling you, if you go by the keys in the King James Version, the actual ways, and don't take nobody else's doctrine, don't take nobody else's signs and symbols, you will actually be one of those that's calling. Meaning that's calling, you actually be one of them, because you'll actually see what was the true words of the Most High. Like, you'll see that mostly everybody in the Bible was Nazarenes, which mean dreadlock people. How many people you think in this world willing to grow dreadlocks? Not that many, but it's a holy separation. Look at the book of Numbers. It's going to tell you holy separation. You have people preaching the word of the Most High God. It's not even wearing the covenant. You know what I'm saying? I wore the dreadlocks a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? So, and I just decided to grow my Nazarene vow again because I noticed Without my Nazarene vow, people thought I was all kind of other things. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of keys in there that deal with the ancient ways of the ancestry of the so-called Black Americans, like the Aboriginals. You got a lot of stuff like the Nazarene vow, no strong drinks. You could drink harp, you could drink beer. Don't listen to no strong drinks. Then you got Psalms 104, the burning bush, all the herbs, and yeah, it's a lot of things that's people not ready for. So that's how you get the many are called and few are chosen. That's how you get it. It's so many things that people are not looking straight at. What was the three bitters that left out of Egypt with the Hebrews? Why does it say Christ don't dwell in a holy place made by hand? Why does it say that? Why was John the Baptist in the wilderness? Like, people got to use their common sense. You're rejecting this world. The world is this, society, civilization, mass control, stoplights, carbon monoxide, aerosol, you know what I mean? Lead poisoning, cancer in the air, violence, just pollution. They was leaving that. Moses left that when he left Egypt. I notice everybody gets saved out in the woods because it's the natural world. Those angels of the Lord was not no halos and wings and fairy looking people and bright lights. There was men who was untouched by razors and combs, and there was actually bushmen that knew their herbs and their plants like our ancestors. Okay, there was men like that. They looked like angels of the Lord. Some of them looked like bush. That's when that man was out there in that bush, the herbalist man, the roots man, the natural man, the bush man. When he was out there in the wilderness burning that chaliwah full of that Psalms 104, which y'all call marijuana, out there burning the burning bush. That what it is? That what it is? Burning the burning bush. And when he passed the sacrificial pipe to Moses, Moses burned the herb and seen a great sight and saw the world in a different aspect. And he wanted to go back to Egypt and free his people. This is what happened. But nobody want to accept that Moses smoking weed and Moses got high and he got anointed and he went back down to save his people. And every time he went back to the angel of the Lord, which was a natural man of the bush, Nazarenes to the floor. When he walked through the forest, he looked like the tree. This is the truth. Christ was a dread. Yes, copper color. Aboriginal. Like copper color, skin like bronze, hair like wool. Copper, bronze, copper. They almost the same elements. I'm just saying, man. A lot of the keys that you think is one way, they're another way. The images and idols are different. People, if they're not willing to accept that, they can forget the kingdom. The messenger came in a certain tribe. He in his tribe had a big heart, and he thought about the other tribes, thought about other people. He thought about the salvation. He saw the kingdom that they could create if they got along, if they push away certain things in society and all the pollutions of the mind, body, and soul. That's what that was all about. People changing, spiritual exodus. But you got characters who get so excited and they got the way, they got the voice, they got the sound, and they get everybody hype, and then they start getting these groups and they gatherings and they follow it, man, leading people astray. The actual true facts in the Bible will destroy a lot of people's mind. They would be like, oh no, they would not be willing to accept the truth that was there. Everybody in the Bible was Nazarenes. Yes, Mary had long dreadlocks. That Joseph was not really the father of Christ. It was that angel that kept visiting Mary, man, which was a natural man, which was a Nazarene. You got the first Maury Povich show right there. People not willing to accept that Moses was a Hebrew who was raised in society, grew up and saw everything of the Egyptians. He actually was an Egyptian for a while, but then when he seen what was going on, which Moses was shaved down, taped up, looked just like Egyptians. But when he went out to the wilderness, he became a natural man like that same angel that he met, the angel of the Lord, the earth, the sun. Remember, certain tribes see God in different ways. Some people see God as in an image made in a cloud, look like a man. Some people actually know God as everything around: the wind, the sun rays, the trees rocking side to side, the ocean. Some people know God as all that. You know what I mean? Some people see God in different ways. But the blessing is to even just seek the Most High, like a child just answering to a father's call. But we all see the Most High in different ways. But always remember, God is love, man. They just change words around as generations go by. They diluted all the truth. They made it easier for sinners. They do it in secret so the lie won't be exposed. How they practice it. That's why they have it behind windows and doors and stuff, because they know, and walls, because they know. If they actually practice how they practice inside their churches, these temples, and the world see that, if they do that in a park under a tent, people say, oh, this is what they be doing? Look who on the drums. Look who leading the choir. Oh man, look what she wearing. Look what if people actually see through those walls, that's the exposure. So they keep it behind the walls, and people get comfortable with the sin and thinking that sin is cool. And then they start, how you call it? They start, I want to have the good word. They start recruiting other souls to the easy God. This is the easy God. Or you could do this all week, and then you come here on this day, which is the wrong day, because the Sabbath day is the day of rest, and Sunday is the first Sunday. What they call it, sun. I don't understand people. A son, the first day, son of God, son. I'm telling you, man, they're looking at it wrong. Very wrong. They're not looking at the natural aspect. They're looking at watered and diluted other man thoughts. Who didn't even read all the books? The Bible is full of books. They didn't go through all the books. They read certain books, certain pages. It didn't apply to them. So they said, the hell with it. I'm not wearing no damn dreads. I don't mess with no sons with no foe. I don't know how to make herbs and make water turn to wine. Break the aloe, the cerasee, all these boiling things that they learned from the roots, man. I don't know how to do none of these things, but I'm going to lead the congregation, and we're going to talk about Christ and don't live like him. We're going to make mockery. We're going to carry the same souls that when he was walking in the street then. We're going to have the same souls that was against him. It's all a haunting. They the same souls that were throwing stones when he was carrying the cross. Because if Christ was to come to them right now, they wouldn't even know who the hell he is. And they do the same thing they did to the one before. That's how it go. It's all about not judging. That's why the creator pick who he pick. He don't pick a whole bunch of motherfucking people. What part you don't see in the stories? Where you see he said he picked a lot of people. He picked one individual to make their testimony in the story. That's why you got books named after these people. The book of Ezekiel, the book of Timothy, the book of Solomon, the book of David, which is Psalms, the book of, go on and on. These are books of different people who had to testify what they had to go through being anointed, being natural, coming into the city. Most of the stuff that was going on was in the city. People had to bring they sick family members outside the door to Christ. They laid people out on mats so